So, hello, my name is Adriana Ortegon. I'm from Colombia originally, and I work at the Livable Cities Project as a researcher working on future city visions. Dennis Garber said that futures cannot be predicted, but futures can be invented. And I like this quote because I think it captures very well the essence of thinking about futures city principles. The idea is that cities cannot rely on existing forces or spontaneous processes to get to a livable and sustainable future. The transformation process needs to be designed and actively managed. This means that cities need to make decisions, and sometimes difficult decisions, to make sure that the needed changes happen before the undesirable changes take place. To guide these decisions, cities need to define a vision of fundamental principles that reflect the public interest and the needs of society and the planet as a whole. I'm going to give 3 examples of these high-level principles. So the first one is that cities need to think about the environment, about giving equitable and sustainable access to resources, to protect natural assets, and to make sure that the environment doesn't have any negative impact on the health of the people or the ecosystem. The environment meaning that we have things like pollution or excessive climate change and then extreme weathers, or that we have less green spaces or public spaces because we have sprawl or excessive densification. The second principle, it's about preventing social exclusion, social inequality, and fragmentation. Cities need to provide affordable access to services such as education, transport, and housing, because these are key so that people and groups of people and areas or regions are not disconnected and they don't feel left behind culturally and economically. Cities also need to think about how to continue to be a genuine mix of culture and demographics, and how to promote the sense of community and empathy. The third principle is about developing skills. Cities need to give tools so that people, institutions, and systems can develop skills to respond to the challenges of the future. And this could come from technological changes or, again, from things like climate change. So, in simple words, the principles are the what. What is this future city going to be? But thinking about the how, it's also very important. How do we make these principles a reality? And that's going to be a complex process that is going to involve several things, mostly related with governance. But there's another key element about this process, which is planning. Planning for this transformation needs to be thought differently. UN Habitat recently defined a shift in what we think planning is, going from the planned city to the city that plans. This means that planning is a multi-actor, socio-technical and political process that integrates sectors and services, but that's dynamic. So planning as an ongoing thing, the city that plans, allows interactions between these actors, the residents, the leaders, the investors, the decision makers, so that through these interactions, the principles can go into plans and projects. The good thing about having planning as an ongoing process means that it can happen from the top down, from the government, so that the principles are in a large project, but it can also happen from the bottom up, from the residents, from the community, so that the principles can go into small projects that can happen quickly and that can prove that transformation can happen.